All right, welcome back. Another week, another watch list. Just going through this list of stocks and setting my alerts so that I'm prepared to trade tomorrow. We did get some more war news that potentially the war with Iran possibly back on. Who knows what's going to happen? I just want to still set my alerts so that I'm prepared and ready to go tomorrow, just in case, kind of just be ready for whatever happens. So on screen, you'll see QQQ. I always start off here. I mainly just set the highs and lows of the previous candle. So there we go. I normally don't set alerts on QQQ and SPY because I don't trade them, but I will watch them, and I really only trade if we break the highs and lows of the previous candle. So there's QQQ. Here's SPY. Same thing. Highs are the all-time highs, lows of the candle. There you go. So what I'm looking for, if it's bullish, looking for that break and retest of the all-time highs here. Again, not to trade SPY, but just to kind of give me this confirmation that I can go long in some other stocks that I'll take a look at. Or break of previous day low, and then maybe we trend down towards this this daily 9 EMA there. Next, let's see. So this is what I had on my top watch list last week. These will probably move around. We'll see here. I don't even know if I'm gonna set an alert here. I have one way down here. I'll leave that just in case we open up, gap down, and then we kind of flush lower than this 1590 level. Not one of my top watches, so I'm actually gonna move SoFi down to, I'm actually gonna move it to week. Next up, Intel. Intel actually has earnings this week. Earnings on Thursday, so I am not going to trade this stock. I will set my level at previous day high. I'm not going to set any alerts. I don't really want to be tempted to trade Intel, so I'm going to move it down. I have this section here for earnings. I'll keep it down there, just kind of at the bottom of my watch list, so I'm not tempted. Nvidia, nice breakout on Friday. I'm going to look for some continuation higher, so a break and retest of previous day highs there. Definitely a top watch. I really like the setup here, a nice bullish candle. So let's see if we get another continuation. Kind of broke this level. Let's see if we get another push higher. AMD sitting around the all-time highs. Let's see if we get a break and a retest of that high from Friday, which is the all-time highs. That would be awesome. It's been very bullish lately, coming off of these EMAs and just kind of on a tear lately. So let's see if we continue. Amazon. Set my alert, previous day high. Again, I'm not really looking to trade any of these to the downside because they're above all of these EMAs. So I'm just setting the previous day high alerts. There's a good chance that if the war is back on and we gap down, that a lot of these setups are just going to be ruined. So I might not trade at all tomorrow unless we come across some bearish setups, but I have a feeling they're going to be kind of scarce with how strong the market has been lately. Tesla, another one with earnings on Wednesday. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll move the line at previous day high. I'm not going to set any alerts because I don't want to trade anything with earnings. There's just too many games being played around earnings, and I don't really want to risk any of my capital in those games. Google, looking for a break of previous day high. We might break previous day low tomorrow maybe and come down and retest this daily 9 EMA. It's just a little tight. I like to let it run. I'm not going to set any alerts lower. Moving on to Meta. Meta, pretty similar setup, above all the EMAs. I'll leave that there. Broadcom, another break above, let me switch that to crossing out. Break above previous day high, above all the EMAs, has this gap lower, but again, I don't really like trading through the EMAs, so I might be sitting on my hands tomorrow until something sets up. MU, looking for a break above previous day high. Once again, consolidating nicely under all-time highs. I would love to see it break and retest that area. That's a nice top watch. I like that actually better than Google and Meta, just because of the consolidation that's happening now on this one compared to, so if I go back to Google and Meta, see how it's just kind of climbing like stairs. This might need some time, Meta as well, just to kind of come down, consolidate, go back and forth for a little bit until pushing higher. So we'll see. Take a look at Netflix. So Netflix had earnings. Let's see, that was last week. Dropped down from 108, and then we gapped down to 95. So there's the earnings there. So this is back in play. However, we're in the middle of all these EMAs, so I'm not really sure I'm going to touch this. I'm actually going to delete that. I will set set an alert on previous day low here. Make the line red because it's going down. So that's what I'm looking for. Breaking retest of previous day lows, and maybe we get a move towards this gap to possibly fill it. That would be pretty ideal. So if the market does gap down, this will be a pretty solid play. I'm actually going to move this up to top watch. I'm also going to, I don't love having a ton of stocks in the top watch. I don't like just overwhelming myself with all these stocks. So I'm actually going to move, Amazon to strong. Google we saw has just kind of been going up. Meta as well. Let's see, Broadcom. Yeah, Broadcom. I'm kind of expecting the market to gap down tomorrow, but hopefully not. Hopefully we keep going. Apple earnings on Thursday. When is the 30th? That's next week, right? Yeah. So we can keep this here for now. Earnings next week. I'll set my alert at previous day high. Once we're within the week of earnings, that's when I move it to the earnings section in my watch list. That's when I don't want to touch it. Same thing. Microsoft earnings next week. This one kind of in between all these EMAs here. The 200 daily 200 EMA is above it, so I don't love it. There is a little room. So I'll set my alert still. Definitely don't love that setup, but we'll see what happens. Coin was real strong on Friday and then had a pretty awful close. You can see that top wick. I guess I'll set an alert. See if we get a push higher. But again, that if somehow we gap up tomorrow and we're even closer to that daily 200 EMA, then I will definitely not be touching coin. MSTR, probably a similar case. Yep, little more room between the daily 200 EMA, so we'll see. But I'll set my alert there. Let's see, Hood got smacked down by the daily 200 EMA. So again, this right here, this wick off of the daily 200 EMA, that's what I don't want to happen with coin and MSTR. I don't want to enter into those trades and then all of a sudden get smacked down like Hood did here. I will set an alert for a previous day high just in case we do break above that EMA there. That would be awesome. See if we get that. Oracle. Oracle, again, just kind of that daily 200 EMA is just kind of lurking there, sitting up high. I'm not going to set any alerts here. It's just too close to that 200 EMA. I don't really love that. Arm's a nice one. Let's see if we get another leg higher. Crossing up, kind of just started pushing away from this daily 9 EMA, these purple lines here. So let's see if we get a break and retest of previous day high. I actually do like that one. Just move it to the top of the strong list. And SMCI, another one, broke the daily 50 EMA. Let's see if we get a break and retest the previous day high so we can push towards the daily 200 EMA. And let's see, SoFi, we took a look at Palantir. Yeah, Palantir just kind of sitting in these EMAs. What does kind of jump out at me on Palantir is kind of this trend line that's forming. That would be pretty awesome to catch. However, I don't love the entry off of the trend line break because if I entered here, if I entered here, then all of a sudden we're coming down and we're going towards the daily 9 EMA, and that makes me a little nervous. There might be a little too much support there. But I'll set the alert. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Maybe we gap down. And then in that case, what I would be looking for is a break and retest of pre-market low if we do gap down. So that would definitely be a top watch if we gap down. But if we don't, if we're just kind of flat tomorrow, then I definitely won't trade this. I got to see it gap out of those EMAs. But we'll see. And then there's your earnings stocks. Again, I don't trade earnings stocks, so there's no alerts on those stocks. But that's what I'm watching tomorrow. Top watch so far is Nvidia, MU, Netflix, and AMD. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Again, we might gap down with all of this war news. Who knows? Tonight, Trump might say that the war is off and we fixed everything, and then we might gap up. Who knows? But all I'm going to do is wake up tomorrow, wait for these alerts to hit, and then watch price action around those levels and make the decision whether I'm comfortable risking my capital in some of these trades. So we'll see. You just have to be patient. But there's my watch list, and good luck tomorrow. See you in the next video. Peace.